Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, April 6th, and this is Nadex Morning Analysis. My name is Todd Rich. I'm with Nadex. With me from Keep Trading Simple, Mr. Brian Caprice. Before Brian and I jump into it and talk about a couple of hot spots in the markets where you might want to focus today, looking for trading opportunity or potential trading opportunity, I do need to share this disclaimer that trading on Nadex involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone, that any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk, and that this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. We are doing this for your education purposes. Now, for today's session, we're going to focus on two things. One, we're going to take a look at oil. Oil has been very volatile. Yesterday, oil was down between 4 and 5%. It caught a bounce overnight. We want to take a look at what's going on in oil and the euro. Seeing some strength in the euro. We're going to focus on those two, and then I want to remind everyone that we are going to be doing a full-blown session today at noon Eastern. It is the weekly Tuesday session where it'll be a deep dive into every single market, and it's midday. So I don't want to steal all the thunder from that. So we'll hang on to some of the other analysis for when we do that. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. Brian, you want to kick us off with oil here?
Sure. Yeah. So if we don't die of allergies in the next 20 minutes,
and both of us, huh?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so if I cough, guys, I've already sneezed twice in Todd's ear. I apologize. I'll try to hit the mute button as fast as I can. Even my daughter, was like, it's snowing. I'm like, no. Those are the little white petals from the dogwoods. But she thinks it's snowing at 70. Anyway, we were sitting right here yesterday where this yellow, this area was, and we said, we had a little bit of an overnight kind of, a little bit of a bounce area, but overall we were seeing the lower highs and lower pivots. So we expected this to more or less come down and crash. And the area we had marked off, we were talking about a break of that 59, 56 area. If we had a break, we weren't really concerned about this level here, much lower at 59, because we'd had 3 touches, and we were expecting a break. It ended up taking a little bounce, and then ended up collapsing all the way down to 57, 59. It was one of those things yesterday. I was like, I don't know if we can hit it in one day, but I would say that look for bounces off that level. It ended up saying, hey, listen. You guys ever heard this, hold my beer? It did. It just collapsed through the floor, went all the way down, grabbed 57. I think I missed it by like half a penny or something like that from that level. And then we ended up rallying back up again. So again, here is that kind of Harry Potter. We never got the full pullback, but it just crashed right through the level. Interestingly enough, we almost got a second entry off of it. But again, we typically don't do that for Harry Potter. So again, you can see that we blew right through. Now, I'm going to extend this line across. And again, this is why it's important. And I got actually an email from someone saying, I noticed that you have some of your levels on, but you don't take them off. And here's the reason why. So I'm going to grab this yellow level, and I'm going to grab the bottom of it so it doesn't affect the top. But I want you guys to see what it ran into. You guys see the entry right there? That's why I leave my levels back on there, because these old levels, while it gave us a little bit of resistance here, you can see it all of a sudden started basing, came up, basing through again. And then again, I'm looking for pullbacks to that same level because there's something special. I'm not the one that picks what's special in that area, but again, it's just how the charts trade, right? Old becomes new. And that gave us kind of a rally, further, higher up, starting about 1:30 this morning. That also coincided with the Australian news. So since that time, we've rallied up. About 5 o'clock in the morning, we took a base back over. And at this point, I would say, it's got well-established, peaks on the top. If you look at news for the day, we really don't have anything. There's nothing sitting in here today. So nothing we really need to worry about. It'll be more or less headlines. And, some of the headlines that we are seeing thus far has been some kickback about the stimulus and not stimulus, the infrastructure plan, right? We've seen some kickback about that. Not necessarily the best of things if we're not going to have as big of a plan as we thought, but yet OPEC is going to start producing more barrels of oil. Is it the best situation? So right now, I would say, it's important to kind of watch out for this level. I still like the 60.72. I think that's a great level. The way that it based here and pulled away and then got front run, I think that's a good one to watch out for. I would say we have to watch out for this 59 level. Again, there's a small level in there. We may need to readjust it just slightly. And again, it may be kind of, kind of using this gap area down here. We may be looking for some type of a movement off of that. Excuse me, change it to a little bit different color. So I think either of those two are decent. If we are able to break, though, below this 58.59 area, I do think the 57.60 comes back into
all the way back down.
Yeah, I think that's something we need to watch out for, particularly with oil inventory tomorrow. If we're seeing a bigger increase than expected.
So let's jump over. And by the way, I want to make sure everyone caught that, because if you didn't mention it, I was going to. Is that oil inventories are on Wednesday? It's the U.S. oil inventories, and so tomorrow oil will be probably something else that we talk about. So following it today and paying attention what's going on today can give you potential insights into how things might set up for tomorrow. Oil, definitely, you could see it's been in a downtrend. I mean, coming off of its highs. I am going to come in a little bit here, make this chart a little easier to see. And again, these are the levels. It's so funny is that I haven't touched this chart. I am going to extend this back out now. Extend these levels that you've called out before, where we tend to see buyers and sellers, step into the markets. I mean, sellers were definitely in up here oil. I mean, that was quite a ride yesterday, and it didn't quite make it down to this level, but it got pretty close. And if you were trading binary options, there was definitely, as it was going down, there were binary options that you could sell all the way down. When it caught its bottom, it was opportunity to buy them back and go the other direction. So, and I'm just going to open this up and just so you could see all of the binary options choices that you've got. And here we are, just it's oil's just trading above this 59.60 level. So as Brian mentioned, I'm going to let's make this a little bit easier now. Just keeping an eye out for today. If it starts breaking down, I know that Brian, you put a level in right around here, right around 59. Mm-hmm. That if it gets through that 59 level, there's ways to play this on the short side in binary options. Looking for it to come back down close to this level that was tested earlier. So things to look out for, potential opportunities as we watch what happens in oil once retail traders get into the markets. And again, we'll be covering that in more detail, I'm certain, later today, but for sure tomorrow's session with oil inventory reports. All right, let's do one other one this morning.
Sure. Yeah, and interesting enough to add into that one, we haven't seen the forecast yet for the oil inventory report. Typically, we have them by Tuesday mornings, but we don't have them yet. So kind of curious to see what those look like. They are talking about just regular crude. Oh, it's okay. Shh.
Uh-oh.
Somebody just woke up and she's not a morning person. But we have seen actually gasoline stocks rising, which is kind of an interesting thing for oil tomorrow as well. So
yeah, and if you're not aware, Brian is looking at dailyfx.com. Great site. You go to dailyfx.com. Partners.
It's okay.
Part of the IG umbrella group. Nadex is owned by the same company, so they're a brother or sister company of ours. But their calendar functionality is great for taking a look at what news is coming up and what can move in the markets. The other thing we want to talk about, let's talk about the euro. The euro is seeing some strength. I mean, the euro has gotten hammered, and finally it looks like it's caught a bottom here. So let's take a look at I don't know which one you want to look at.
I think euro pound is a good one. We've seen just because that's kind of the interrelationship we've been pushing back and forth. There's been some news out today, earlier this morning about 4:30 a.m. talking about the Confident EU Recovery Fund is legal. We've talked about Yellen saying that multinationally we need to tax everybody. So Yellen wants to tax the world. And people are like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's just get more money. And I don't know who controls it, who's going to deal with it, but she just wants to tax everybody. So our deficit is not big enough. We want the whole world to run at a deficit. I don't know. But, there's actually another article out here too, talking about, I just saw it a second ago, talking about how the euro is always, talking about the euro is always stuck in second gear. But the euro has been kind of beaten up. a lot lately, right? We've seen it a lot. Recovery is obviously a big thing with it. It's having major major issues with COVID still. There was some news yesterday about they're having really alarming rates of increases, and again, vaccines are rolling out much slower over there. People say that the United States has done a horrible job, but you know, think about the logistics that that they have to deal with the number of countries that they have, the different people, the different rules, the different borders, the different security, the different lockdown, the different health ministry. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces. They finally got some great data, and because of it, we've seen this pop back up into the 85, 50-ish range. Now, we have a little bit of basing right now, and again, the U.S. trader coming online is helping this a little bit right now. I would say looking back, and again, let me go back to a 30 minute here. You can see this level up here at 85, 55. It's really the last time we've seen major movement in this one. And again, it was a European release, so we know that it's a decent form level. And it was front run another time at 10:30 at the U.S. session. So it's definitely a level I'd watch out for. We're seeing this spike now. I would say if we get some type of a confirmation on this one, again, probably a decent area that we could be looking for shorts. It's not quite in the upper third, but it's getting really close. And like I said, zooming back on this one, going back, a couple weeks, this is the strongest movement we've seen thus far with the euro from this position coming down, right? Besides the current up. Yeah, so I'd be looking for a retracement. I think that you need to be focused on getting out before this level here. And this level is at 85.90. And this is something that we'll obviously discuss later today. But again, when we do have that parabolic retracement, we want to make sure that we get out the origin of the move, which would be much lower. So I would say right now, this is kind of the intraday range that I'm looking at from here to here. But this much movement, this fast, with no major headlines besides one person talking about a EU, legal recovery fund is strong. Okay, it is what it is. I'll be looking for a retracement of some sort.
All right. So and that was the euro pound. Yes, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that was euro pound.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And on the Nadex platform, again, this is a big move. I mean, you've even got the ATR down below. This is a big move for the euro. It's been, if we back it up, I mean, we can clear. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, the euro has been in a fairly
very stagnant. Yep.
It has gotten hit. I mean, as I zoom now, I'm going to come back in here, and you can see this is one of the biggest moves that we've seen the euro make in a while. So, and it's it's chopping around in here. But if you wanted to take, if we're looking at a rollover, there is a way to do this in a limited risk reward way. Here's a way for you to risk. Max loss is up at the 40 range. Profit would be 100 if we do see a rollover. It is managing your risk reward. These binary options could be one way. If you're thinking about going short the euro pound, looking for a little bit of a retracement after this fairly significant move, that would be one way to potentially play this.
And we've already seen the rollover happen in the euro yen. So the euro is strong versus the pound because obviously there's some legal issues there, but versus the yen, I mean, it's already getting kind of beat around, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something.
Yeah, in fact, well, you mentioned it, so let's just go ahead and bring up the euro yen, and we can take a look at it. Yeah, and right, and there it is. We saw the run up in the euro, and again, when it's in the first position, the euro's in the first position. When it's going up, that's strength in the first position, the euro, which means when it's coming down, it rolled over. And look at that parabolic retracement. You can up and back down, something to be looking for potentially against the pound.
Yeah, that was a level that I talked about with my group. So if you guys want to see what I do typically with my group, that's what you come back for 12 o'clock today, where I do the full breakdown. So that was this level from yesterday, the 30-50.
Yeah. So I mean, there it is. I mean, there's a lot of things out here to help you in the markets. All right. With that, I don't want to steal any more of the thunder from the noon Eastern. So I dropped the link in the chat. If you got any questions for Nadex, please email us customerservice@nadex.com. Got any questions for Brian? Support@keeptradingsimple.com. You can email us. We're very accessible. Brian's around to help, as is Nadex. Nadex definitely wants to help you. If you're struggling, the only way we can help you is if you let us know. With that, let's just do a quick little recap. We talked a little bit about oil. It caught a bounce. after getting hammered pretty hard yesterday. The euro seeing some strength. Looking for a potential rollover when U.S. traders get in. So be looking for opportunity there. And join us at noon today for the full-blown session. Brian and I will be back again tomorrow morning. With that, want to wish everyone good luck.